The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Throwing on first down is Carr. Lets this go for Renfrow downfield. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, Mooney, what a catch. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Well, we knew that Darnell Mooney could absolutely fly, but he was only taken in the 5th round out of Tulane because of his size. He ended up being one of the better late-round picks in the NFL last year. 61 catches on the season. There's another one there, this time for a first down.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Fields. Flushed out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if he wants to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise,
look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And some room to work. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Fields now to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like they went for the combo plate there. A nice ample gain on the ground on the previous play. Going for the big shot on that one unsuccessfully.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Fields. Flush to his right. Here's a diving catch right side. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And now here's another interception. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And the Raiders are going to take over once again.
Jones Shorty.
weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From his end zone, Wilson. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down. Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance rolling to his right. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And they'll go for it. Lance. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's unable to get away. They stop him at the line on 4th and 2. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Looking for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
They go play action with Wilson. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Hines. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nyheim Hines, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes with... And he goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Darrell Taylor In there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. The Lance going to throw. Being chased out left. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Throwing on first down is Lance. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point safely through. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd down, it's Hines. And some room to maneuver. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's a 2nd touchdown run of this game, and this one, add a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On play action, Lance steps away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D Ford that time, getting the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Another try after the first down sack. Lance. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. This to Hines on the drop-off. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's got room. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. This is Hines. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They go play action now. Wilson. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Well, this rivalry, Charles, the Seahawks and Niners, really one of the best in the NFL. So many great games in the last decade or so between these two. Where does this one rank for you in terms of best rivalries of, let's say, the 21st century?
I'm so glad you phrased it that way because we look back on some of the best rivalries in the NFL. We're talking about traditional rivalries like Bears-Packers. But here in the 21st century, it's hard to beat Seahawks and Niners because when they get together, you're often playing for division titles, positioning in the playoffs, and chasing the Super Bowl. Similar to Ravens and Steelers, two of the best rivalries in the NFL.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
And that's a nice throw right there, and I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in the colleges delivered to the NFL.
Now a play fake. Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Lance a handoff here to Mostert. 1st down and a little extra from Mostert. And finally wrestled down at the 11. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. And the 49ers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Second and 6 at the 47-yard line.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Lance now on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Back to the air on second down. It's Lance. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the 49ers have moved out in front. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.